I couldn't go back again. I couldn't get small again. And I swear it is because I just couldn't, I could not play small any longer.
I love that though. We get to come here and be different things. We don't just come to be one single thing in this lifetime. You can have, you can be multidimensional. You can teach many things. You can do many things. But if there's something calling upon your heart, or you can't ignore it, and if you listen to it, it's bringing you somewhere that you need to go.
I had a vision. I cannot tell the story without telling the vision because it changed my life.
I don't know what's going to work, but I'll get data on the way. So let me try this. Let me try this, and that's just what I did. And it sounds like you're doing the same thing as well.
So in 2022. I took it from nothing to multi-millions in the last 3 years.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Unapologetically Rich. I'm your host, Shamina Taylor. And today we have an amazing guest. And her story is incredible. I actually met her not too long ago. We were on a radio, a live radio station the other day with one of our friends. And we got chatting, and she has created wealth very, very quickly. She got some guidance, took some action. She's a mother of 5, and she has made a couple of million in a very short time. And that's why I wanted to feature her on the show, because some people think that they have to have years and years and years of experience and success to hit the million. And she's today going to show you that that is actually possible when you're very clear on what you're doing. So I want to welcome Keira to the show. Welcome,
Yes.
Keira.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome to Unapologetically Rich, the show for high-achieving women who refuse to settle. I've helped over 51 women become millionaires and multimillionaires. You're next. I'm here to unlock the next level of wealth, freedom, fulfillment, and feminine power. So hit the follow button, share this with every woman who needs to hear it, and get ready, because every week we're diving deep and rising higher. This is the Unapologetically Rich Show. Are you ready? Let's get to it. Thank you for coming. So when we chatted, what was yesterday, 2 days, a couple days ago,
Right.
You said that it was literally in the last 2 years, everything, your whole life I was making a reference to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, saying my whole life got turned upside down. She's like, same. And why don't you share your story?
Yeah, so I have 5 children, and for 20 years I was a massage therapist. And in 2017, I had a very dark night of the soul that awakened me to more. Like, I knew that I was here to do more. And in that moment, I had this deep knowing that I was supposed to start a publishing house. That made no sense. I felt like I received it from God. And I was like, I'm just a massage therapist. Why would I start this? But
2017?
In 2017.
Wow.
But it was like a hobby, right? It like gave my heart something to work on. It gave me something to grow my gifts in. And so in 2022, when my 20-year marriage ended, this hobby that I had just been slowly, I feel like, creating, it had to become a business because I had 5 kids to financially support. So in 2022, I took it from nothing to multi-millions in the last 3 years.
That's amazing. Congratulations. 5 kids. You have a marriage and you shared with me that your significant other at the time was unfaithful. And
Actually, no. He was?
He was?
Yeah.
Oh, so what happened?
It did not work.
Wait. Hold on. Back
Yeah.
up. So he didn't cheat on you?
No.
So, well, obviously I've had too many stories in the last little while in Miami that I'm getting them all confused. Okay, so not all men cheat.
Nope,
Okay.
nope.
Well, tell me, because to end a 20-something year
Yeah.
marriage just because is not even, people don't just do that. So who ended it? What happened? Like, did you get a sign from God? Like, this is time to roll? Like, what happened? Because you have 5 kids, and what are the age?
Yeah.
What are the age ranges?
Well, they're 10 to 20 now. So it was.
So 3 years ago, your marriage ended?
In 2022, it did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a very painful marriage. There was a lot of. I don't like to talk bad, so I'm struggling.
Just say factual things.
Okay. It was very painful for me, and it was very painful for him. And it was something like he would prefer to, I don't want to put him down.
Play video games.
Yeah. He would
And
prefer
how do
to
you
play
support
video
5
games
kids
all day.
on
Yeah.
a massage therapist salary and video games.
He did have a job, but
Okay.
that's his way of happiness.
So you
And
check out.
I am meant to like change the whole fucking world. And so you put those two people together and the level of suffering was so intense. And I went to therapy for the full 20 years. I did. And it wasn't he didn't want to do therapy. And so at some point I hit a point of like, I've done 20 years of work. We are not moving the needle. The suffering is more intense and more intense every day. And I just knew.
So you ended it.
Actually, here's what's crazy is I went and spoke on stage with Glennon Doyle. It was like the biggest, it was like
That's huge.
huge for me. And I couldn't go back again. I couldn't get small again. So I had this practice, and I think this happens for a lot of women, where we see our greatness and our brilliance and we become it. And then when we go back into a partnership that doesn't allow it, we have to get small. And I kept doing this contraction. I would expand and would contract and would expand and contract. And after I spoke with her, I was like, oh, she can't go back. Like I couldn't go back. And he asked for a divorce 3 days later. And I swear it is because I could not play small any longer.
I love that, though. I know that's still probably painful for you, but I mean, I think that's a lot of women's stories, though. I mean, I have a theory, and this is how my marriage was coming to an end, and my ex-husband is a very successful man, but I say if one person's doing their internal work or doing that deep work, and another isn't, it's like the marriage has three partners, and if we all aren't moving in the same direction, then one is going to stop. And so it's like you were moving ahead, but he was like an anchor in your life, so you couldn't get ahead. So, I mean, that's a hard decision. Even though when you know you have to leave, it's still a hard decision to go.
Yeah.
And but now you left. Tell us how fast and quickly in the last 3 years. So a lot of women who've been sitting there said that once they let go of something that was heavy and misaligned anymore, just because people stay in marriages or relationships, like friendships or even family members, way too long, and we stay there because we think that that's the right thing to do because of how much time we've invested. But time invested does not actually equal success. And so for you leaving 20 years, right? 20 years, and then betting on yourself because you knew you had big things to do, that I did the same thing. I just knew that this was something that while he was amazing in a lot of ways and in a lot of ways wasn't, I knew there was something bigger for me. And had I stayed, I would never be where I am today. But it took me a few years, a lot of healing that I had to go through. So tell me what happened after you made this decision. Was your divorce quick and easy? Okay.
So I'm a God girl, and everything I knew needed to be like signed and sealed. And I had actually gone to God and said, I need my marriage to end. And I had a distinct impression, and I heard it ends this week. And then it was 2 days later from that prayer that my ex-husband had asked for a divorce. And so it was like, my body knew, like, okay, this is what needs to happen.
Because you wouldn't have left.
I wouldn't have left.
Because you have your kids.
I never would have left.
Because of the children.
Because I had 5 kids. But the truth is that I watched the way that me and him acted. I watched the way he treated me. And I was like, I would never let my daughter be in this.
But that's the standard. If a lot of women looked at, like, would you let your daughter be in those same shoes, you would make better decisions or different decisions,
Right.
So
I leave.
Yeah, because by the way, when you make those decisions, I feel like when you ask the universe, God, for the things, it doesn't come in a Tiffany box. It comes like, okay, you asked for this.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're getting it.
And so, it was intense because
redirection, not rejection, right?
Right. I also heard, don't take child support or alimony.
To make it fast.
And you don't get the house, Keira. Like it was literally like I left, and this will make me emotional. Because I left with my 12-seater van, because yes, I drove a 12-seater Amazon white van as my real car. I left with that, my clothes, my books, my Vitamix, and my kids.
That was it. You left everything behind.
I left everything behind. And it was the scariest moment of my life because I was an entrepreneur that showed I made no money every year. My parents are entrepreneurs. that they don't show that they make any money. Everybody around me, no one could sign to help me rent a house. And there was a moment where God had said I wouldn't get the house, to just leave it behind. And there was a moment where no one would rent to me. No one would rent to me because all the houses had been in his name. I'd been married for 20 years. We'd had all these things, but nothing was ever in my name. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be homeless. I have 5 kids. No one can co-sign with me. And it was the most terrifying moment of my life.
I can imagine.
And I feel like that's when I burned the ships. That's when I was like, I gotta figure this shit out.
No plan B.
Nobody's coming to save me.
No.
And I have these 5 beautiful children that I have to take care of. And so I went through every person I knew who would co-sign. And it was like, no, 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 no. It was the craziest experience. And so I went to God and I was like, you got to figure this shit out because I have these 5 kids. And that day I walked into this house and it was a house. It was like.
Are you still in the house now?
No, okay. But it was like the walls, the ceilings, the floors, the baseboards were all this brown. Okay. It was so cavey and the carpet was disgusting. And I was just like, it has enough bedrooms for my children. And I walked down the stairs to these women who were renting the house, and I looked at them and I said, I have money in my bank account, but I have no co-signers. I'm an entrepreneur. And they looked at me and they said, we both left abuse. We are both entrepreneurs. Show us your bank account and we will give you this house.
Wow.
And to this day, like, I praise God for those women. And when I moved out of that house, I went and I brought them flowers and I cried and I was like, you have no idea.
Also, if you have not got your ticket for the Wealth Consciousness event in Chicago, it is October 2nd and 3rd. And this event is not like one of those events where you go to and there's just tons of speakers and you're just in the audience, just getting your ear talked off. It is a transformative event. So what does that mean? You are looking to get your $1 million a year, or maybe you're looking to make your next 5 million or whatever it is. It's an up-leveling 2-day transformation. So you're going to go in there. We're going to do workshop events. What is that going to mean? Well, we're going to first start with the identity work, which I think is really, really important. Some of the exercises that we did last year, at our event, which were really transformative, and we showed how in real time, why people are afraid to actually even have more money or to create more wealth. And we showed you, so you can identify, hey, these are the things that I'm doing right now in real time. What that does is it helps with the implementation process. It helps with you integrating and embodying that next level of wealth. When you join our programs, you do get to that level, but when you're in the room, you can implement, integrate, and embody so much faster. So we're going to take you and your business to that next level. We're going to talk about how you grow your brand and what are the important things about growing your brand, how you're going to attract your high premium client. But also we're going to go into what is it that can create the most amount of wealth for you so you can work less and make more. A lot of the times people are at capacity and they don't know how to really let in more wealth. But what we're going to do in these 2 days is we're going to walk you through our transformative process so that you're just not getting information, but you're getting an opportunity to integrate through our very unique framework so that you can integrate the things that you're learning in real time. And one of the things is when you do something, your nervous system gets regulated faster. When you're able to perform an activity in real time, the nervous system gets regulated for big money. Also, what happens is whatever fears that people usually have around money that creates money leaks or is not really helping you expand up into that next level of power, in real time, what's going to happen is you're going to start rewiring your neural pathways. So you're not going to have a fight or flight, response system when it comes to money. You're going to be able to open up for more cash and more wealth to flow in. So this is transformation plus integration, implementation, and embodiment. These 2 days, you're going to be able to be in the room. And listen, when you're in a level of consciousness around other people, I'll give you an example. When you're meditating and you're meditating by yourself, there's one level of consciousness. You get in a room and you're meditating with 600 other people, your level of consciousness expands faster. Well, think about it that way with wealth consciousness. You get to expand faster at a rapid rate with other people in the room that are also elevating their consciousness. You're going to transform in 2 days way faster than if you stayed at home and did it on your own. So that's why you need to be in the room. That's why you need to get a ticket. All right. We hope to see you there. I think we have 4 VIP tickets left. Get in the room so you can get coached by me with hot seat coaching. Imagine if I can get to the root of one of your issues really fast, or even identify an issue you didn't even know that's holding you back from your, $100,000 or even $1 million months. We want to see you there. So go grab your ticket. Because they believed in you and they gave you a moment. They gave you a chance that you needed.
they believed in me. I was able to put a roof over my children's home, and then I went to work. Like, I worked every hour of the day, it seems, to build what I've built. And I'm so damn proud.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's amazing. When necessity breeds success, you know, when you have to be able to figure it out. My kids were always my why. When, you know, I was leaving my marriage, I never went to anybody for help, and it was like starting all over again. And I was too proud to ask anybody for help at the moment. I was just fighting through everything. Yeah. And so that was 2022. And so now we're at 25, and you've created and made millions since. So tell us, you just had an event recently. Okay, so I want everybody to hear all this horror story, because when I heard it, I was like, everybody needs to hear this story. So you opened your publishing company. Now, what do you do? Like, where's your purpose work? And obviously you're in alignment with what you're doing, and you're not in that house anymore, and you're still in Idaho.
I am still in Idaho.
I always call it Potato Town.
I will be there for 8 years, because that's my oldest is 10. My youngest is 10, but I only live there 2 weeks a month. I live in Miami 1 week a month, and then I either live in Costa Rica 1 week a month or on this private island, because that's where I run my events. So I run my events on the weeks.
Do you take the kids with you?
No, because those are the weeks they're with their dad.
Okay.
So they're with me. I'm in Idaho. Then they go to their dad's, and I'm either here or I'm running events. And,
oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us what you're doing now.
So
how did you make the change? What happened?
Well, the truth is it was actually 2 years ago this month, I had $5,000 left in my bank account. And I remember being like, I get up every damn morning and pray. Every day I meet with you, God. Every day I do everything you tell me to do. Where the fuck is the money? And I was like screaming at the heavens, because I was like, no one's gonna come save me. Like, I'm here, I've worked my ass off, everything I had in the bank account just paid for the last, because the divorce ended in December, and here it was May, and I was like, I have nothing left. And I had a vision, and I cannot tell the story without telling the vision, because it changed my life. And the vision was that whether people are Christians or not, it's a story in the Bible, and I believe it's a good story. It's a story of the woman who touched the hem of Christ and was healed. And I heard a message, and the message was, Christ didn't heal her. Her faith healed her. She had so much faith that if she just touched that hem, she would be healed, and so she was. And in that moment, I heard God say, you don't match money, I cannot give it to you. You do not match it, so I cannot bless it with you. Clear all the fear out of your body now. And it was like, got it. So every day I turned on Joe Dispenza.
Of course.
And I was like, get rid of this fear. I know I got $5,000 left. It's fine. It's fine. And I did not let fear in. Fear would show up. I'm like, I got no time for you. I do not have time for you. And that month I made $200,000.
What?
And I was like, what just happened? And then like 3 months later, it'd been $700,000. I was like, what just happened? And it was like, wait, what? It was all like how this is inside of me. This is what dictates if I make money or not.
Yes.
And it changed my life.
Wow.
Yeah. So then I started doing these adventures where I would take authors on these 5-day adventures somewhere luxurious, and I would help them write their books in 5 days, because that's my innate genius.
Because you get downloads, and
I get downloads.
You connect with their higher source. Like, how does it work?
So I can actually call in their book, and when we sit together, I actually hear the messages, the most important ones that need to come in, and then I share it with the author, and it does this activation in their body where then they just start writing, and people write their books in 5 days.
They write their book.
They write their book. So I'm just an activator for them. And
what if they're terrible writers? How do we know? Because some people try to write a book, and y'all know that they're not good book. They're not meant to be writing anything.
And that's what's different about the method I use, because I had someone come on an adventure who was dyslexic and hated reading books. And she wrote one of the most beautiful books I've ever read.
Wow.
And so for me, it's us being a vessel for messages that need to come to the earth. And it's
so do you like
me.
say the whole book, like chapter to chapter? Like, how does it work? Or just theme of it?
So that is like what I think most writer's block comes from, is that someone was like, okay, if you're going to write a book, you need to have an outline and chapters and da-da-da-da. And then that just really caps our ability to receive. And
So what would a process look like?
Yeah. Okay. So the process is like this. We spend 45 minutes every day in prayer.
What do you do to get into that state? Because you have to open up your vessels and channels to listen, right?
Yeah. I have a specific blessing I do on my body every day with water. And I prepare my body every morning. Every morning I do that. And then I do that.
Like holy water or?
I mean, it's holy to me. I bless it, right?
I need to know more about this.
So I take water and I sit with it every morning and I ask the divine to bless the water that it matches the frequency of miracles. And then I take the water and I specifically bless every
Anoint
chakra
yourself.
in my body. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And so that's a practice I've been doing for ever since probably last May, 2 years ago, May, when all this happened. It was like I got this download.
From 5,000 to 200. We're all filling up a jar of water and anointing it and setting intentions. So you hit all your energy centers, your chakras.
Every chakra, and I bless each chakra. And every day I hear what that chakra needs. So I just bless it accordingly.
So every day you do that, and
every
then before
morning.
this book download, you do it.
And so then when my authors meet with me in the morning, we do the blessing. I call it the blessing of the body, and we prepare.
Do they do it too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then we drop in and we channel, and it's.
What if they're really in their head? Don't they have to be a specific type of person who's open to receiving the message?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If someone is really cynical, I would never.
You do an application process with everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, this is really intimate work, right? So I have to also really believe. I have to believe in what they're writing about. I can't just go write.
They have
anything.
an idea before they come to you.
Yeah, so we channel before we get there so that we have a clear understanding of what it is. But then one of my gifts is that I'm actually just a lot of fun. And fun is really important
for anything.
For anything, and especially writing. So I watch their nervous system and I see if they're burned out. Then I'm like, oh, we're gonna go. So like everyone in Costa Rica, we go ziplining through the jungle. Everybody does. And it's just so damn fun. And we like make it a practice and we throw off our fears as we're jumping off the cliffs. And when we're in BVI at the Sacred Island, we have like races in the water, and we have these like beautiful see-through kayaks that have LED lights. And so we have these dance parties on the beach at night, and then we take the glow-in-the-dark kayaks out in the ocean. And it's like, fun is always a part of the adventures. So it's like sacredness and fun and focus and nervous system. And those are my 4 pillars.
So basically you're getting people out of their head and into their bodies more so that they can receive, right?
Exactly.
And so, because when you're not doing, you're able to open to receiving and being, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. So you're altering their states of beingness. Mm-hmm. So 45 minutes, that's it? That's all you need to download it?
Well, so no, that's the beginning. We spend all day, right?
Okay.
So we do the 45 minutes of the prayer in the beginning, and then we start channeling, and then I watch them, and if they need to go have fun, we'll have fun. Then we come back, and we drop into prayer, and we listen again, and we just kind of go back and forth. So that is what I started doing, creating a high ticket price for that, and that's what created, it was like this extreme wealth that just showed up because I was helping people do something that they'd been wanting to do forever, and doing it in a way that they fell in love with their writing, they fell in love with their books, and that they were making true impact in the world.
So you don't help them write it at all? So you're like not ghostwriting it for them?
I'm not ghostwriting it at all,
oh,
no.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. They really are the ones writing it, which is super powerful.
So these are for people, what would your ideal client be? Someone who knows that they have a book in them but doesn't know how to get the book out?
So it's usually people who are impact-driven. Impact-driven entrepreneurs are my favorite because I don't like just helping someone write a book. I want to help them build the business that goes along with the book, because no one's ever going to make back their investment from book sales. unless you have this enormous following. Book sales, you're going to make $5 a book. This isn't going to pay back the investment. And also, if we don't build a business with the book, then we actually are not impacting the world. We need to build a business that goes with it.
How are you helping them build a business? You've told me like what's the next step. So you have 15 people, but you're only there for 5 days. How are you doing a full day with everybody?
So on the island is 15 people. So all these other ones were just one at a time or 3 at a time. The island is this new thing that we started in September. That one has been extraordinary because the island and I are partners. And I know that sounds interesting, and I would think that's really woo-woo, but can't deny it. This island it's in the middle of the British Virgin Islands. It is dedicated to helping leaders. Like, that's the point of this island. Brittany, who's the owner of this island, she's one of the most extraordinary women I've ever met. You should have her on here. She actually lives in Miami. Let's get that going.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. She's like under 35.
A woman who owns an island?
She owns an island.
And she's 35?
Yeah.
Okay, so some goals I need to set out there is
yeah.
owning an island, because I haven't hit that yet because I'm way past 35. So she owns an island in the British Virgin Islands.
Yeah, so Brittany Turner is her name.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go see her tonight. We're buddies.
Okay.
But she dedicated this island to helping leaders awaken. And so I rent the island from her, but we actually do a lot of work together. And I believe that the partnership of the island, it's a portal, and it activates leaders and it activates everyone. So they don't need me all day long. Me and the island like partner together. So that's what my TV show is that we're filming in 9 days.
What you're doing with Rudy, right?
Which I'm doing with Rudy Moore, is that we are going to document this whole experience of authors going to the sacred island, being in prayer, listening, receiving, and writing their books.
That's amazing. And so this is going to be coming on Amazon Prime? Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So when are you guys going to be releasing that?
Well, we shoot it in 9 days, and then we're going to wait 3 months so that we have the last episode is at a book launch and everyone's holding their books.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun.
You're in the process of filming it right now, though, right? While you're in Miami?
Nope, this is a different TV show.
Okay.
So here in Miami is Rudy Moore's Legacy Makers, and he gave me 3 seasons on his TV show. And that is where my authors have 45, we have 45 authors have 22-minute documentaries about each one of them. So there's 2 different TV shows. The Writer's Island is actually just my show. Rudy's just my producer.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, she had $5,000 and she was moving into a brown house.
Yeah.
And so then she did the holy water. And then everything changed. So she made 200,000, 700,000, and it can't be cheap getting on that island, right? So no,
It's very expensive.
Need it. Well, that's not expensive. It's just an investment, right?
It's
I always
a big
say,
investment.
nothing's expensive. It's just whatever you
that's
want to
true.
invest in
That's
it, right?
That's true.
I say she's got new money mind though. We're going to change that.
Yeah.
So right now you're providing for your 5 kids. So when you go back to Idaho, you go back into mom mode.
I mean, I do work all day. I am a full-time working mom, but I am mom mode. And so I get home, I drive them to school, and then I work all day. And I'm so lucky I get to be done at 3 so I can pick them up and I get to spend the whole evening with them.
And then when you're in Miami, you're TV producer and book publisher and all the fun things did you think your life would ever be here?
No.
But you knew you were meant for more.
I did. I always did.
So what about someone who's listening and they think, well, I've got to do all of this work. I mean, you did do years of therapy, but you were stuck in your marriage.
Yeah.
But what do you really feel like was, obviously your offer came together really tightly, that you knew what you wanted to do and you put a heavy price tag on that offer.
Yeah.
And why?
Why?
Yeah.
Why what?
Why did you price it so high and not just give it away at first? Like, what made you realize the benefit of it? Like, what was it? God? Was it you? Like, where did you get that knowingness to say, okay, this is what I'm going to value this work at? Because you said since 2017 you were kind of putzing around with the idea.
There's a strange thing about me that I never devalue what I've done. Like, I never have.
It's not strange. That's great.
Yeah, but it's like I needed $35,000, and so when someone came to me, actually it was Juliet Wright, who is now my business partner. She came to me. We didn't even know each other, and she was like, "I'm an entrepreneur. I have 4 kids. Can you take me on a vacation to write my book in 5 days?" And I was like, "Yeah, for sure I can." And I had no idea if I could. And she was like, "How much is it?" And I needed $35,000, and I was like, $35,000. And she was like, "Done." I was like, awesome. And then the next month someone came in and they were like, "How much is it?" I was like, $45,000. And they're like, "Done." Then the next month I was like, $55,000. And I just because then I had so much proof. I would take all these videos and show it all over social media. And it was like, I just, and then that's why when I did my first live event in January
Of this year,
I had 30 people that showed up. And I closed $1.25 million in 5 minutes from the stage.
that's a huge clap up, man. That's
I know.
amazing. It's because that was like literally 18 months prior when you had 5,000 in your bank.
No, this is January.
No, but I mean, that was it was 18 months ago prior.
You're right. Oh my gosh, I've never put that together.
Like, she was just,
Holy shit.
yeah, that's amazing.
That gave me
so
goosebumps.
wait, which Joe Dispenza thing were you listening to every day where you were like, let me feel into this money? Like, I mean, I did Joe back in the day before he was famous, but did you feel like it was your meditation? What do you feel like got you to that frequency of the wealth? Again, if you haven't got your ticket to the Wealth Consciousness event, it's October 2nd and October 3rd. This is going to be an event that's going to basically fast track your result. This is when you're not just getting information, but you're going to be able to implement, integrate, and embody your next level of wealth consciousness in this 2-day immersive event. We take you through active in-person workshopping that help you regulate your nervous system in real time, rewire your neural pathways for big money. And this is so like, even if you were making $1 million a year, this is like, so there's no income leaks, there's no other places where money is leaving, but you're actually making it from a state of abundance and wealth consciousness, not just from the hustle, but really showing you how to move into that higher level of consciousness around money. This is why it's called the Wealth Consciousness event, because it's an experience of having you expand into the more. And if you're working towards your first million or your first, 5 million, this also is going to help you create wealth faster. We're going to talk about you and your business, and we're going to talk about how you can expand into the more, how you can live a life that is filled with abundance. This is not just going to transform you, it's going to transform your business, your family, your team, and your friendships. You're going to probably meet your best friend in the room. It is a high level event. We do have a couple of VIP tickets left. Go ahead, grab your ticket, bring your business bestie, or come and visit and meet your bestie in that room. And this is going to be an event that really helps you fast track your results so that you can integrate, implement, and embody. This is not just for information. People go to events, get a lot of information, but they don't do anything about it. I want you to leave this event with implementation. This is why a lot of women start having their highest cash months, or they go cut their hair right when they land because they're like, they've been transformed. I want that for you. I've seen this happen again and again throughout our events. I know and trust this process. Come be there and have the elevation, have the expansion. It's waiting for you. You know your next level self is out there.
It was a combination of everything. It was a combination of me really getting devoted, like it's like the devotedness of the blessing of the body every morning, of like every day.
You still do it?
Oh yeah, there's not a day I
don't go.
You
do the Botech every day, like the blessing of the energy centers every day. Like
every day.
You do an hour meditation. Okay, so I used to do it for an hour every day for 8 years. Maybe I need to get back on that right now.
Well, it doesn't take me an hour.
Okay, what do you do? A 30-minute one?
It takes me about 20 minutes in the morning.
The abundance one, or is it just the?
No. I'm saying the blessing of the body. Me,
oh, what you do?
My water.
Your thing.
Every morning.
I thought it was Joe's stuff.
No,
okay.
Joe. I don't do it every day.
Okay.
I love Joe, and there wasn't a specific one with Joe. It's just.
So you're setting intention of like this is going to work out. Like there was no choice.
Yeah, there was just no choice. Yeah. Like for me, it was like, what's the plan?
Yeah.
Like I don't have parents with deep pockets who could,
or an ex-husband
because
he wasn't getting paid to play video games and stuff like that.
Well, and also God told me not to take any child support or alimony. So I
listened.
And because of that, the divorce was finalized in 3 months. There was nothing to fight about. I wasn't asking for anything. I literally was just like, get the hell out. And so
wow.
That is what I believe created.
You bet on yourself?
I bet on myself.
Yeah.
I was like, I just knew I could. And there was this moment. I'm trying to decide if I could share this. Okay. Well, if this creates problems, I guess it does. But there was a moment after he asked for a divorce and I agreed. He came back and was like, never mind, I don't want a divorce. And I was like, no, this is for the best of all. And he came to my office and he said, you can never do this on your own. And that was the best thing he could have ever said to me.
My ex-husband told me the same thing. Well, he's just, you'll always need me. I'm like, he goes, you'll never find another man like me. I'm like, that part might be true, but I can do it on my own, it's or you'll find a better. That stuff just motivates you all the time, right?
It was that was just like, watch me.
Yeah.
Watch me.
And I think a lot of women don't realize their potential because they have a safety net or this anchor in them, like where they're just playing so small and you just kept playing bigger and bigger. So what's the ROI for a client that goes through your offer and they spend the $55,000, $70,000, whatever it is, to get the book done, they go on the island. What is the ROI for them? How do they go and monetize that afterwards?
So I definitely teach them so much more than books, right? I help them actually understand how to put this into a digital course. How do we start making some funnels? And so I actually have a whole team that builds funnels for anybody who's in my master's program.
So you do a book funnel for them?
We do a book funnel. We have a webinar funnel. I teach them how I do webinars. I do webinars every 6 weeks. This is my We always close at least 100,000 every time we do a webinar. And so
great.
it's just like, I just am teaching them my path. Like, great, you're going to write the book. Cool. That's the seed. That's the seed, but it's not the end. It's like the thing. And so I teach them how to do the webinars and how to build all the things that I do that will help move them forward. But I feel like the ROI, really, like other than them going, and I have authors who are now they're on stages, and all of these authors now get to be on TV because I'm pulling them along with me. Like, hey, let's go. I don't know a publishing house that has opportunities to go get on TV. I love that we're a publishing house that goes, hey, I believe in you as an author so much, I'm gonna put you on TV. And then I'm gonna teach you how to have the funnel so you can actually build a business. There's so much more like wholeness to what we do. But the ROI that every person says, and I know this is bold as hell, but it's fine. Every person who works with me, you say, what's the number one thing you got? And everyone says, I now hear God.
Oh, wow.
And for me, that is my deepest purpose, is to help people know that they can hear the divine.
So that's their inner guidance, to always trust it.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a beautiful thing when you can trust because the answers are all within us.
It's all within
So if you
you.
can hear it, like you listen to the direction that you had.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was like I was going to quit being a lawyer. And I knew there was something else coming to me, but I just couldn't see it, feel it, or know what it was. It wasn't like I just went and got my degree and I was like, okay, this is the thing that I'm going to do next. I had to just hold on to some type of faith and look for signs every day to be like, hey, this is the next direction. You're going to be leading all these women. You're going to be writing books. I mean, I went and saw seers because I was just trying to confirm, because my analytical mind was like, okay, is this the right thing to do? Do I leave a career being an attorney and go follow and do everything else like this that did not make any freaking sense? Because I had no idea what the online space was. I mean, I was having these spiritual awakenings and going to become a Reiki healer and doing and burning incense and doing some crazy shit that I was doing because I was like, okay, I know I'm losing my shit right now, and I'm having this moment that I can't I couldn't explain. I was in a deep spiritual healing part. Yeah. And then, okay, you're supposed to go do this next. And then I'm so glad that I listened and aren't you glad you listened?
So
because
grateful.
And I think a lot of us get that message of what our next is, or even though I was an attorney for 20 years, it was like, it was time to pivot. I identified myself with being an attorney, and I'm sure you did with being a mom, and this is who your identity was. And it's like, what is that next identity? But I guess here's the best thing that I think about is that we get to come here and be different things. We don't just come to be one single thing in this lifetime. You can be multidimensional. You can teach many things. You can do many things. But if there's something calling upon your heart, or you can't ignore it. And if you listen to it, it's bringing you somewhere that you need to go. And so, I'm just inspired by you, because it's an amazing thing to watch that you just listen to the guidance. A lot of women. I know a woman today who I used to know when I was getting divorced, separated 13 something years ago, and she's still fighting her dude in court for money, and her kids are like, it's like, why tie yourself up with that when you can just let that go?
Yeah.
And you went into full abundance.
Yeah.
And decided, okay, that you're gonna make it work no matter what. And your kids are living a great life now.
I'm taking my 3 oldest boys to Tokyo in 3 weeks.
I'm coming to Tokyo.
And that makes me want to cry that I can bring them to Tokyo for an adventure, and to celebrate my second oldest graduating high school, and to celebrate that we're not in survival anymore.
Yeah, I love that. I know that dating's been different for you. And
Oh, we're gonna go here,
and we don't have that much time for
don't.
it. But
That's a whole other
episode. But what would you tell the women out there who are, we're not going to talk about all the mortgage proposals and things like that.
She's just giving all my secrets away.
But you told publicly, we were live on radio and she was telling people about it. So it wasn't like I'm telling, but this is videoed. I mean, this is recorded.
This is so
but
good.
what's something you would tell a woman right now who, maybe she's working, she's doing something and she's making money, but maybe it's not fulfilling her anymore, because you're obviously feeling very fulfilled in what you're doing. You can tell that you love what you do and you're passionate about it. But maybe she's stuck in this spot where she's like, I don't know what my next is, and I'm really nervous about listening in. We're all doing the water thing. I'm gonna ask her for a step-by-step video. Don't worry. I know all the women here are like, what do we do with this water, and how do we anoint ourselves and get into this state? But I think that it's intentional work of just deciding what you want to create without the noise, and being so focused on believing that that is what's going to happen without evidence is what true faith is. And I think that's what it is. Without evidence, you have faith, right?
Yeah, without evidence.
So what would you share with them in the last couple minutes? Like what?
Around dating?
Well, no one down.
I am the last person.
She's not giving dating advice. These are my over here. But no, about leaping and
Yeah.
taking that next
Yeah.
level, that step that, you know, is scary, and walking away from something, and just what their next level is. Like, you're just beginning, but you're going to, you know, I'm going to hear from you in 2 years or whatever. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I'm on the network, you know, or whatever, or there's something bigger, obviously, playing out, and you're quantum leaping at such a rapid rate, because you're saying yes to the identity shifts every single day and upgrading yourself. And like, you're not afraid to let that old version of you die to go. Right. Yeah. So I think that's something that people get stuck on, being in their own ways of doing what they're doing.
I think, honestly, there's a phrase that I say a lot of the time, which is the space between inspiration and action is where you become a slave to fear. And when we can shorten that space where we receive inspiration and when we actually take action, we can collapse that space. That's when we collapse time, and that is when we quantum leap. And the problem is that most women, because they weren't taught to understand their intuition and taught to believe it, they stay in that space, the slave to fear, because they receive ideas, but then they're so afraid to take action. And if I could say there's one thing that I have done over and over and over, it is that every time I'm guided, I do. And it's not tomorrow, and it's not in 6 months. It's literally today.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, because you don't let the uncertainty dilute the message, or you don't let fear dilute the message, because I think that's actually something that really helped me. I have this saying called "messy makes me millions," because instead of waiting for perfection to take the move or knowing how everything's figured out, I started realizing if I just listened to the message and took action on it without knowing all the answers, then I would have the results. So then I started getting addicted to it. I'm like, well, I don't know what's going to work, but I'll get data on the way. So let me try this. And that's just what I did. And it sounds like you're doing the same thing as well.
Exactly.
Because messy did make you millions, didn't it?
A bazillion%. And I am messy, and I am chaotic. And I think that's
the
actually
feminine,
the magic.
That is the magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just never have to have it figured out.
No.
When someone has said, hey, can you help me do this in 5 days? I was like, for sure I can. And then I was like, I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, and you took that you bet on yourself, but you figured it out.
Yep.
And now she's your business partner.
Yeah,
And now
is.
you're on an island.
Yeah.
Helping other women. Is it all women?
No, I help women and men. It just feels like 90% of my clients are women.
And you're helping them create their books out. How many authors have you helped?
I don't even know.
You gotta get that number.
I do need to. That's like where I'm like, I have no idea, because I don't even think to check. But last year I think we had 70 books go through last year.
That's amazing.
So it's
What's next for you right now, aside from the TV show?
Well, the TV show is very big. I can
huge.
feel that. But I have this vision of purchasing my first home, which I haven't ever before, and actually not a home for me to live in. I want to purchase a home in Boise that we make the JOA publishing house.
Wow.
And then what will happen is I'll now bring people to Boise, and I will only work with them in the JOA house that's anointed, prepared, cleansed, cleared for this work. So I'm not having to go to all these locations and energetically prepping in them. It's like I just have a sanctuary. And then any of my JOA authors, if they're like, oh, I need a week to go write, they can come rent out the JOA house, and we just start building like this really beautiful sanctuary.
I love that. I love that. One last thing. Tell everybody where the JOA came from.
Oh, yeah. So JOA stands for JOAN of ARC. And JOAN of ARC is, whether people believe this or not, I believe we have guides, and she is one of my guides. I felt her come in right after my divorce. And I love JOAN of ARC because she is one of the most fearless women of all time. At 14, the story is that an angel came to her and told her how to save France. And somehow this 14-year-old got a meeting with the king of France, told him that angels had told her how to free France, and he believed her. And then at 17, she put on armor as the only woman to lead men in battle and saved France from the 100-Year War. And then 4 years later, she was burned for heresy. And so while she was in court, her words were, I am not afraid. I was born to do this. So I have her words tattooed on my wrist, and my publishing house is named after her because I believe that those are the leaders that I help. People who will do the things that no one else would do, who will face things in the face of fear. And one of my favorite quotes, and I think every woman watching this will relate, she has a quote in court where she says, I would have rather been spinning wool like all the other women in my village, but that is not what God called me to do.
Wow.
And I think sometimes I would rather be the girl who just goes to the gym in the morning and shops at Target and goes to lunch.
Get your Starbucks.
But you know what? That's not what I was called to do.
No, look at you though. You changed the trajectory of your entire life because you listened to your guidance from your Joan of Arc. I mean, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Tell everybody how they can find you.
Yeah, easiest is Keira Brinton on Instagram. You can always go to JOA Publishing on Instagram or KeiraBrinton.com. Send me a DM. I always respond, and I'm always here. Next week, we have a 3-day experience where people can come and write their books all the time. That's available. So check me out. I'd love to help you.
This was awesome. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, you're amazing.
I'm so happy we met.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.